Hey guys, Huzzy bringing you another video. Now welcome to what I love to do, one of my favorite type of videos, a new champion video, and it's for Aurora. So this is her splash art. So in this video we'll be going over her abilities, giving my 2 cents about them, and at the end kind of going over a bit of the Q&A that I had in the Riot dev meeting. So firstly, thanks to them for inviting me, they always do, and I get a rundown of the champion. We get to talk to the developers that made her, and then we actually get to do a Q&A at the end. So she is designed to be a mid/top, but I'm going to be honest, like the whole top thing, I think she's mainly going to be mid. You'll see why maybe she can be played top throughout her kit, but I think she's mainly going to be mid. She is a Vestian, and she's from the Freljord. Obviously, if you caught the story mode on the client, she obviously met Orn, and the kind of background of this champion is she can basically see the spirit world and obviously the material real world kind of together, where obviously some champions in League can go into the spirit world, but they don't have it kind of connected as much as she does. And it's also worth knowing, Riot obviously have tried to kind of show different backgrounds and different, how people are different in the world, and she is officially the first autistic champion that they are promoting in the game. So it does show, they are trying to be very open about diversity in all regards, and I think that's actually pretty cool. So let's get into it. So her passive, and obviously what I'll do is I'll play the clip, maybe let the audio run once, and then I'll explain what it does. Now the clips they've actually given me are not full size, so I'll stay up here in the top right corner, but here is her passive, which is called Spirit Abjuration. So that is her passive, and I will say, during the dev meeting, we had Riot August in it, and although he wasn't directly, the developer of this champion, the actual dev couldn't make it, and he did help a little bit with this, and he made the obvious joke that it's a 3-hit passive, and obviously that's what he absolutely loves. So this is, if Aurora damages an enemy 3 times with her spells and attacks, she will deal magic damage and exorcise a spirit to her, entering spirit mode and gaining movement speed and empowering her healing for 3 seconds. For every additional spirit following Aurora, the bonuses from spirit mode are increased by 5%. So that is her passive. Now we're going to be moving on to her Q, which is called Twofold Hex. It's again pretty, basic, nothing crazy fancy, which I think is good. But this is fire a blast of cursed energy in a direction, dealing magic damage to enemies hit and marking them with spirit energy. And then if you recast it, so you press it to kind of throw it out, and then you recast, end the curse, drawing back the spirit energy to herself, dealing magic damage to enemies it passes through. So think of this as a version, obviously, of Shen sword. Shen is also kind of the spirit nature, so he can recall his sword to him, and anything, when his sword passes through an enemy, he then does bonus auto attack damage. It's similar to that, so she's throwing out a Q and then recalling it, and it does bonus damage, etc. if it hits enemies when it recalls. So there's that. Next up is her W, and that is called Across the Veil. So this is the ability, I will say, is going to be interesting to a lot of people, because she has invisibility as a mage. I think, ignoring Evelyn, who's not a mage, she's an assassin. I think this is the first invisibility a mage has ever had. So this is hop in a direction. Upon landing, you enter the spirit realm, becoming invisible and entering spirit mode for several seconds. Takedowns on enemy champions resets the cooldown of this ability. So I think the idea is, if you in a big team fight, you can hop around being invisible, then popping out, killing somebody, then instantly going stealth, jumping back, into the spirit realm. So again, quite high movement. And obviously I think, it goes without saying, why the little bit of top lane is mentioned is because she is kind of movement based. So she might be able to survive in top lane by kind of kiting tanky bruisers or tanks. So that's, I think, the idea. The next ability, though, is her E, and that is the weirding? Sure, the weirding. So one thing I will say, a lot of her abilities are pretty basic. They're not like crazy, but it's going to be intertwining them and using them well together that's actually going to give this champion difficulty. So this is send out a blast of spirit magic, dealing magic damage in an area and slowing them. And then also Aurora will hop backwards slightly on cast. So again, adding to the, oh, she's movement based, she can get away from bruisers or something in top lane, or maybe even assassins in mid. But yeah, it's how you intertwine everything that's going to make it difficult. And here's the big one. So the ultimate, when we saw this in the dev meeting, everybody did react and was like, whoa, here we go. So the ultimate is called Between Worlds. Now, I wouldn't blame you if you fully didn't get what just happened. So, big area, no one can leave, and then she's teleporting around. So, send out a pulse of spirit energy that deals magic damage and slows enemies. The area merges the spirit realm, granting Aurora an empowered spirit mode, and allowing her to travel from one end to the other. Enemies who try to cross the threshold will take magic damage, be slowed, and be pushed back towards the center of the area. So they explained so like Silas tried to leave and he got bumped back. I believe you only get bumped back once. So if you try to leave, the first time you try to leave, you'll get bumped back into the zone. But if you try to leave again, I think then you're allowed to leave. That's how they explained it. But that is the champion. So she's interesting. She's obviously a bit different to a typical mage. She's way more movement based. And if I had to say what this champion's kind of like, it's a mage version of kind of like Gwen. That she has very similar things with Gwen. Like kind of Gwen and Camille in some aspects, because her ultimate's quite like Camille's. But then she's got kind of like different things that are quite similar to Gwen. But she's a mage, so she's a ranged champion. She doesn't want to be in melee on anything. She will be squishy. She'll be doing a typical mage build, but she's very movement based. She can hopefully kite things, I think is the idea. She's got slows, she's got movement speed herself, she's got teleports, she's got a jump back with her W. So the idea, I believe, is she is probably mainly going to be playing in mid, but top lane is an option as well. It was asked, will she be able to play support? And here's the thing. In modern League of Legends, she may be able to play support because modern support is a bit of a mess. She's not designed for it, but, you know, we're seeing Poppy support. All mages are going supports. You know, like, I wouldn't count her out of being one or being able to play it. So what we'll do now is actually just play you a big clip of gameplay, in essence. So I'll keep quiet and you guys just to get to watch how Aurora will typically play for a 3 to 4 minute clip. Okay, so that is Aurora. Hopefully that gave you a pretty good idea of what the champion's all about. Very movement-based, controlling team fights with a big ultimate. And yeah, I think she's pretty cool. She's interesting, and I think she's going to be like, I don't know if I put her in the absolute hard category of a champion, but I also wouldn't put her in an easy. I think she'll have a relatively low skill floor, but I think she'll have a decent high skill ceiling. So an accessible champion, but not everybody will obviously master, and I think that's good. I think that is overall a quite good thing. So you saw with her build, obviously in the clip, typical Mage using the burn items that are obviously just quite strong right now. And it is worth mentioning, you know, I think a lot of people, you know, Riot did say, oh, she can play top. And I think a lot of people have really taken that. And I've even seen it in my own Twitch chat of going, oh, she's a new Mage that's built for top lane. The clip that they just showed you of her gameplay testing, she's playing in mid. Like, she is a mid laner, but it's an optional top laner. Is what I think she is. And to be honest, I think she will struggle in quite a lot of top lane matchups if they have direct engage. But yeah, the option is there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully I explained it at a decent level. Again, the only thing that I think some people may get confused about, because obviously the spirit realm is mentioned a lot. Let me just refresh you what spirit mode is. So when you hit spirit mode, which obviously spirit mode you get with your passive. If you hit 3 things with your passive, you enter spirit mode. When you W, you're briefly in spirit mode, and then the ultimate, when she's within the ultimate, she's in an empowered spirit mode. And spirit mode, in essence, and what the data, you know, what I've got to go off here is basically she gains movement speed and she empowers her healing during it. And you know, every spirit that she gets, or an additional spirit mode, she gets quicker, and her own healing is empowered. The only thing I will say, like, she doesn't do innate healing herself, so this is where I think, you know, supports will be able to heal her a lot. You saw in the clip there that a Yumi was on top of a Aurora, which that could be quite a scary combo. But there you go. So that is going to be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the explanation. Let me know what you think about the champion down below. And if you enjoyed the explanation, if you enjoyed the champion, please do throw a like on the video. And yeah, let me know what you think of her. Do you think she's going to be busted? Do you think she's going to be broken? Do you think she's going to be healthy for the game? Let me know in the comments. Have good discussions, and I'll be in there kind of talking to people as well. But as always, thank you guys so much for the support. Do throw a like on it, throw a comment, throw a subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore